students. Welcome to Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. I'm here to teach a topic on government. Please follow me. Electoral process. The objective of today's topic. 1. At the end of the lesson, students will be able to 1. Definition of franchise. 2. List and explain the meaning of elections. 3. Mention the meaning of suffrage. 4. Discuss types of suffrage. 5. Mention types of suffrage. 6. State conditions necessary for eligibility as candidates for elections. Franchise. Franchise can be defined as the political right of qualified adults, male and female, citizens, to be given to a given country to vote and be voted for in any political election. Franchise or suffrage is the right of adult citizens of a nation to vote in an election. Franchise can be defined as the right given to qualified adults to vote and to be voted for. Last year, we had our general election, whereby Nigerian citizens go out to choose their political leaders in both executive and legislative arms of government. This is very good. In Nigeria practice democracy, democracy can be defined as the government of the people, by the people, and for the people, according to Abraham Lincoln. So Nigeria practice democratic system. Therefore, our citizen choose the political leader of the country in both the executive and legislative arm. Whereby we choose our president, our governor, our members of the House of Assembly and National Assembly. Election. What is an election? Election is a formal and organized process where people vote to choose someone for a political office or other position. It involves the act of electing or the state of being elected. Election is the process whereby the citizens go out to choose their political leaders. Go out to choose their political leaders through voting. Last year, we did our election, general election in Nigeria, whereby qualified citizens, go out to choose their political leader in a democratic way. Let's move to the electoral process. The electoral process is the method by which the electorate in a democratic country vote for some citizens who will represent them at the legislature and executive arms of government. Electoral process is the process, methods. Every country has different methods of choosing their political leaders in both the executive and the legislative arm of government. Types of franchise. We have limited or restricted franchise. At times you might see it in your examination that mention 2 types of franchise. 1, they might write limited suffrage or restricted suffrage. Don't be confused. They are all the same. They both are the same. Limited or restricted franchise also means limited or restricted suffrage. Secondly, the second one is unlimited franchise or universal adult suffrage. What is limited or restricted franchise or suffrage? The right to vote or to be voted for here is purely restrictive. These days, the right to vote is very restrictive. It's only very strict, and they have different conditions for it. In some countries like that, it's only the educated elite, those that are educated. Some property, if you don't have property, you cannot vote. Some income, like it happened in Nigeria in 1922 during Clifford Constitution, whereby for you to vote, your earnings, your yearly earnings must be £200. If you're not earning £200 and above, you cannot vote. That is an example of restrictive or limited franchise. So the second one is universal franchise or unlimited franchise or universal adult suffrage. This is the right of all qualified adults to vote and be voted for. The following are some of the qualifications or conditions required to vote in this system. Age, citizenship, registration, sanity, bankruptcy, residence, alien, criminals, underage, and insanity. Universal franchise or universal adult suffrage simply means that qualified, and this one is not highly restrictive. It's not highly restrictive, whereby qualified adults go out to choose their political leaders or go out to vote and to be voted for. There are conditions. Nothing is free. No one has absolute freedom. There are conditions for it. So some of the conditions required to vote in this system are age, citizenship, registration, sanity, bankruptcy, residence, alien, criminals, underage, and sanity. There are conditions which has to be met before you can vote and be voted for. Types of suffrage. Adult suffrage. Type of suffrage, adult suffrage. What is mean of adult suffrage? Adult suffrage simply means that it's only adults, those that are of age, that has right to vote and be voted for. 2, male suffrage. In this suffrage, it's only male that are allowed to vote. It's only the male are allowed to vote. It happened before in Nigeria. During the Richard Constitution, it's only male in the northern region. It's only the male that are allowed to vote. Taxpayer suffrage. So this suffrage is only for taxpayers. Only taxpayer can vote and be voted for. The last one is property suffrage. Property suffrage simply means that only those that have property, that have landed property, can vote. Aside that, no one can vote. Condition necessary for eligibility as candidates for election. 1, age. There are 8 factors that must be considered before you can contest election in anywhere in the world. 2, residential qualification. You must reside in a particular area. You cannot say you want to contest an election and reside anywhere around the world. That place you are contesting an election, you must be a resident of that area. 3, payment of tax. You must be a tax payer. For a person to contest election, you must always pay his or her tax promptly at when due. Number 4, no criminal record. You cannot be a criminal and want to contest election and win. It's not possible. You cannot be that's it. You must have no criminal record. You must be of good example to others. Because leaders are leaders are people look up to. People look up to you as leader. Therefore, you must not have criminal record. Because if you have a criminal record, it just shows that you are going to make up a bad leader. So, criminal record is not allowed. Bankruptcy. You must not have any bankruptcy or have any loan with any bank without paying. For example, deficit loans. Like I have a loan for years, I have not paid a bank loan. It's not allowed. Because before you can contest, they will check your records, your bank record, whether you do have any defaulted loan, which you have not paid. Citizenship. You must be a citizen of that particular country. For example, now, you are in Nigeria now. For you to contest election in Nigeria, you must be a citizen of Nigeria. If you are a U.S. citizen, for you to contest election in U.S., you must be a citizen of United States of America. Sanity. You must be of sound mind. Because you are leading people. You are not leading mad people. So you must be of sound mind and sound health. Educational qualification. There are different countries with different qualification for you to contest election. In Nigeria, it is secondary school certificate. That is secondary school certificate, that's SSC certificate for you to contest election in Nigeria. And other countries in the world too also have their own way of choosing of eligibility in an election through educational qualification. Nomination papers. You must be nominated by a political party. You cannot stand up like, I want to contest election. It's not possible. You must pass through a political party. A political party must nominate you for you to contest election.
Acing your WAEC and NECO examinations has been made easy by the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education with the Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO Candidates television program. Join seasoned teachers as they take you through these core subjects. targeting the exact syllabus of WAEC and NECO. Watch Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates through these social media platforms to access more educational content and give their feedback. Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. Pass your examinations with flying colors.
Eko Learners Support, a support program of the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for WAEC and NECO candidates.
Now let's look at the practice question. 1A, define franchise. 1B, discuss types of franchise. 2A, what is electoral process? 2B, mention 2 types of suffrage. Let's start with 1A, define franchise. 1A, franchise may be defined as the political right of qualified adults, male and female citizens of a given country to vote and be voted for any political election. 1B says, discuss types of franchise. Limited or restricted franchise. The meaning of limited or restricted franchise is this: the right to vote or be voted for here is purely restrictive. They ask to mention 2. The second one is unlimited franchise or universal adult suffrage. This is the right of all qualified adults to vote and be voted for. The following are some of the qualifications or conditions required to vote in this system, which are age, citizen registration, sanity, bankruptcy, residence, aliens, criminals, underage, and insanity. 2A says, what is electoral process? You need to know that. The answer is this. The electoral process is a method, the method by which the electorate in a democratic countries vote for some citizen who will represent them at the legislature and executive arms of government. The question for 2B, mention 2 types of suffrage. They are just to mention 2 types. Listen, students, if they follow the instruction where they ask you to mention, don't explain. Mention means just to list them. If they have to mention and explain, you have to do the both together. Is that clear? 2B answer is adult suffrage and male suffrage. I've come to the end of today's lesson. For inquiry, questions, comments, you can reach us in any of our social media platforms displayed on the screen. Have a wonderful day.